I found the best Hump Day song. Oh, is anybody else having a hump day like me? Welcome back to another colorful keto with Dori. And I don't know, I'm kind of having one of those days where I'm like, I don't like anything today. All my clothes don't fit me right. Everything is stupid. I don't like anything today. So I decided the way that you fix that, because you always have to have a fix for that, Dori. Dori can't just, be in a mood. It's very un-Dori-like to be in a mood. So I decided we would have brownie bowls and vanilla ice cream with berries on it while we chat today, because I think that will improve my mood. Like, hello, ice cream. When you do sugar-free keto ice cream, that's gotta make you feel better, right? Right? And I don't really have a reason to be moody today. I think it's just one of those days. And I think Wednesday for getting over the hump is a good day to talk about that. What happens when we get blah, when we just don't really feel like it some days? Do you guys still get those days? I do on occasion, not as much as I used to. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about when maybe people don't get what you're doing. Maybe they don't understand your keto journey. Maybe, you're that weird keto girl in your friends and in your family, and nobody really kind of gets what you're doing if they're not on the keto train. Maybe they don't understand, your passion for keto groups and recipes, and they don't know why they keep getting notifications on Pinterest that you have all of these new friends and all of these new things on the go. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, if you're watching on Facebook, you already have the description, and I will include it when I post the preview on Instagram. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the criticism that I received when I first started doing keto and when I first started making keto videos, because I didn't really get that warm of a reception. Like, it wasn't really the awesomeness that I thought it would be in my head. So I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory, and I'll say that when I first started making videos, they weren't intended to be recipes. I never created an actual recipe. I had a very lofty goal, and I was going to do a thing, and I was just going to teach people how to be creative. It wasn't going to be an actual recipe. I just was going to invite people into my kitchen and say, hey, this is how I do stuff. This is how I get creative. Come along, watch the live, hang out. And basically it was an idea just to give people a peek into my brain, but not an actual recipe. So one of the first videos that I made of this concept was called 1 minute muffins, mug cake, and 90-second bread with a twist. So again, it wasn't a recipe. It wasn't me popping on live to make a pre-made recipe. I went into a Facebook group that I was a member of at the time, and I said, hey guys, what flavors do you want? If you want me to create something from scratch for you live, what flavors do you want? We took flavor suggestions, and I set to making the video. Now, because it wasn't a recipe and it wasn't something I had already thought out, we made mug cakes, we made 1 minute muffins, and we made bread on the fly. It ended up being, I think, like a 42 or 45 minute video, somewhere in that range. And I was very proud of this video, like super proud of it. And I was only member in, 2 or 3 Facebook groups. So I posted it to those couple of groups thinking, they need to approve member posts. So if they don't want that video, they won't post that video. No big deal. And the video posted, and I was very proud of myself. I was like, my God, I'm going to change the world. I'm going to teach people how to be creative, and this is going to be so exciting. And then a big fat bomb dropped on me when I realized that in this group, they in fact did not like the video. They didn't watch the video, mind you, like to form an opinion on liking or don't liking, just sidebar. They decided based on the title of the video, which was about, mug bread, 90-second muffins, 1 minute bread, and a 45-minute video was excessive for something that's, 3 minutes worth of cooking. So and I didn't realize she was a moderator at the time. I just thought she was a lady in the group, commented on my video and said, this is ridiculous. Nobody has time to just watch you talk. Have you seen a cooking video before? You know that they can do a whole meal in less time than this. General consensus is this is garbage and nobody wants to watch it. And I was like, okay, but maybe you don't understand, what I'm doing. I am not really sharing a recipe. I'm, showing people how to be creative. And it did turn into it was my first big fat drama. And if you guys want to see like all of the details of what happened with that, I put that video in the description too. It's called The Creation of The Colourful. And it kind of talks about what happened with that group and how that blew up. But I will give you the short version, which is they didn't like me. And they decided as a group of grown women that in their moderator chat, they would post my videos, but then make fun of me behind my back. And they quite affectionately called me Dori, unicorn sparkle poop lady. So they weren't wrong. I decided to run with that and, brand that because hello, unicorn sparkle poop lady. They weren't wrong. But they didn't understand, the idea of what I was doing. They didn't really care. It didn't fit into the mold of what they were looking for. And I feel like that kind of crosses over in our everyday keto life, sometimes with friends, family, coworkers, and they just don't kind of see the big plan of what you're doing. And on the surface, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to them. So where we're coming around with this story full circle is the other day, I took a look at my YouTube statistics. And guess what video is my number one viewed video? Literally, my most viewed video with the most watch time is that one first video that everybody hated. And it was general consensus that it wasn't good, that I didn't have any right to be out there making videos, putting content out there for people. It wasn't something that I should be doing. And come full circle, 2 years later, and I'm going to say pretty close to coming to the day, because I want to say that happened probably in September, maybe October of 2017, because October 10th was when I officially started my YouTube channel. I'm going to say it was somewhere between the 15th and the 10th-ish. So we're coming up really close on 2 years. And had I stopped at that point, at that very first video that, apparently nobody liked, then where would I be now? If I had taken that criticism to heart and just stopped doing what I was doing. Clearly, they were wrong about people wanting to watch that video, because it's not my least watched video, even though it's 45 minutes. And I'm going to tell you something too. I think it might even be sideways. I should check that and see, because a couple of my very early videos were sideways. I'm not going to lie about that either. I did not understand which way that YouTube Live was going. So I want to check, because to boot, it really might actually even be a sideways video. But when I look at my videos, the ones that I got the most criticism about, the most flack about, those are the videos that everyone is watching, that everyone goes back to watch over and over again. So I want for you guys to know that just because someone is criticizing what you're doing or what you're eating or your new healthy lifestyle plan, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily against you. They just don't see where you're going just yet. But you know what? Show them through example, and soon enough, people will see where you're going and they'll want to go there with you too. I can promise you that. They will want to go there with you too. I'm just going to quick play this and see if it is sideways, just out of curiosity. Ooh, it's not. Yay, it's not. It's one of my not sideways videos. But I will also say it was one of my videos before the lights. So if you guys don't remember a time before the disco lights in my kitchen, this was pre-disco lights back in the day. Super Keto Clara! She says, I get it. I was never bullied for it by my friends in the beginning, but they would always ask questions like, why are you on a diet? You're not fat, or you will never eat sugar. And that, I think, is really common. And I want to give a huge shout out to Super Keto Clara. If you guys are not following her yet, you need to. She's amazing. She is 13 and she is blazing a trail. She's using keto to treat her epilepsy. She has a speaking engagement coming up soon. I think it's Real Foods Keto, isn't it? Could you add a link in there? Miss, if you're still watching, I'm pretty sure that that's the one. And at the end, I will find the link and add that too. Because I really feel like bringing kids into our community is so important. A lot of the things that I was bullied for as a kid was for being fat. So if we can help our kids get through that and not have to go through the miserable stuff, that would be absolutely awesome. So I'm going to take another bite of my ice cream because it's melting. And, I'm going to post the recipe for the brownie bowl too. I made this last night for bed night snack. I also think that my new waffle bowl maker is my new best friend. It's a game changer. I really, really enjoyed taco bowls last night. And I did steak bowls too. So we're going to have a lot of fun with those as well. And I'm going to take a quick scroll and see if we have any comments on Facebook. I see we have a lot of ladies watching. Hello, all my ladies. It's so nice to see you. So I'm curious what kinds of things you guys have come across. Now, I also wanted to talk to you about non-keto food. Not keto food. There is, everybody knows I'm the only keto person in my family. I never post what I make for the rest of my family because I don't really know if it's helpful to you guys or not. But I was thinking about it yesterday and I thought, a lot of you are in the same situation I am, where not your whole family is keto. So if you guys want to look at what I make for my family in comparison to what I make for myself, that's something we can delve deeper into, and I can show you guys what I would normally make my family and how I convert that for me. I kind of feel like you're only getting half of the story from me because I only ever show you my keto foods. So yesterday, I did something a little different and I posted one non-keto recipe. So again, I will sidebar this non-keto recipe, but Ollie's got a hold of me and they wanted for me to try their brand for my family, not for me because I don't eat the wheat. But they wanted me to look at the quality of their product, their packaging, and see if I think maybe they can work on an awesome keto version. So I am really excited to be able to try it and test it out, and my family did really like it, and we made taco bowls. So on one hand, keto ingredients are super expensive, so most of us don't cook that way for our whole family. So let me know if you guys feel that that's helpful to you, then that's something that we can include on my Instagram and on my page on occasion. If you feel like it would be detrimental to you and you don't feel like seeing non-keto food would be helpful, then we don't need to do that. But I feel like putting ourselves into this bubble where we pretend that nobody ever eats any non-keto food doesn't really help us. I mean, I have seen people post things like, oh my God, all these non-keto foods are just, they're driving me crazy and they're making me want to go off plan. And if that's your situation, it might be an issue for me, but I have to cook these foods every day. So if you're going to live in a household where you eat keto and everybody else doesn't, then it's something you really got to get past, because you're still the person in the house preparing everybody's food. So learning to get to the point where I can see their food, look at their food, prepare their food, and it doesn't bother me was a little bit of a journey. In the beginning, I really kind of hated their faces, and I posted a video about it from Juggling the Jenkins, my absolute favorite lady on the planet, by the way. Again, if you don't follow her, you need to. She's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But I posted a video about that today because, in all honesty, that's how I felt in the beginning. When I first started my keto journey, this was my attitude. Oh, hang on. Let me get some sound on that for you first. We'll put on the sound. And we'll have to scroll it away and then back so that we get the whole thing. Okay. Scroll. Scroll.
You don't get to eat delicious food in front of my eyes. I don't think so. We're changing. Our whole family's changing with a new life.
And it was really hard for me to get around the fact that I was making a healthy life decision. And my family was like, that's great for you, Dori. Good for you. You be healthy. And they didn't really want to join with me. And at first I was like, so you're just going to eat that? Like, you're just going to like eat it right in front of me, like in my face, right? Even though I've decided to make a healthy decision for myself, you're just going to eat it? Like, that's very rude. I'm going to spend a little while being unhappy with my family. So I think that maybe talking about the in-between and how we make it work for our family, if it's just us or if it's not just us, if we're incorporating our husband and our kids, how do we do that? But more than anything, I just want to encourage you guys that if you're struggling, if people don't get where you're coming from, they just might not be there quite yet. So what I posted for you guys in the description to check out is my top 5 viewed videos. So the first one is the Muffin one that we talked about. I also included the video about that drama and what happened if you guys want to watch that. My second top viewed video is one of the Dr. Ken lives where we did general keto information. I've included that. The third is one of my absolute favorite videos of all time. It's one I made with Keto for Real Life people, and it's called Keto Sex 101, The Real. And it talks about some of the in the bedroom benefits that we see from keto with increased mobility and more energy and better mood and all of those things. It was a really fun video if you haven't seen that one. Daisy Dupe says, I'm in the same situation where I'm the only one in my family who does keto. I have to cook non-keto and keto, but I'm used to it now. And that's me. I'm so used to it that I've forgotten how hard it was. And I've been thinking, a lot of people just started keto. They might still be in that spot where it's hard and you're struggling and you're trying to really not hate your family. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to hate their family. Nancy says, church potlucks are the toughest for me. And let's do a little feature on that too, where we talk about the things that you can take for yourself to go. Your own to-go foods that you can bring to the potlucks. You know, a mug cake dessert or some fat bombs, a nice high-fat dip. You can make some nut-based chips or cheese chips. Veggie dip is always a hit no matter where you go. Charcuterie platters, the kinds of things that we can bring to make these situations easier. Let's be honest, we're not getting out of those situations. We're not stopping hanging out with our friends, our families. We have work functions, school things. All year long, life is real. It's real, and we have to figure out how to make it sustainable for us. Otherwise, we end up falling off plan and, 6 months later, we're struggling still. Clara says, it used to make me feel bad, but I see classmates eat junk at parties and I'm used to it now. And that is I think it's one of those things you get over it. It's really, really hard in the beginning. I would say for me, it was maybe the first 2 months. The first 2 months were really a struggle. And then I realized I don't actually want their food anymore. It doesn't taste the same to me. It doesn't taste nice to me. It doesn't make me feel good about myself. And it was like a light switch. The day when I realized I could make a keto version of anything I wanted, that was the day it changed for me. And I stopped looking at that food and wanting it. And it's like my brain became an instant converter. So as soon as I saw chocolate cake, I would think, oh, how am I going to make a better chocolate cake than that when I get home? And that was always how that worked for me. I had a lady message me and she's like, oh my God, Dori, I went to my favorite donut shop and I did not buy a donut because all I could think of was when I get home, I'm going to make Dori's donut recipe and I'm going to have my own. And I feel like once you hit that point where you realize keto isn't actually restrictive. It sounds very restrictive, but it's not, in the sense that I don't really miss those things. I don't want those foods. I don't crave that sugar. I do have a creative mind and I want versions of those things, but I no longer crave what my family eats. In the odd occasion, sometimes you smell popcorn and you're like, oh, that smells so good. I love popcorn. The smell brings back all these feelings. That video I included as well. That is my 5th most viewed video, and that is the popcorn substitute replacement. So that is one that might really, really help you out if you're still struggling with what your family is eating. And then the 4th video that I included is one of my favorites, but again, another one that I got so much criticism over, and it is keto-friendly cotton candy. So it was a video I made. My girlfriend came over with her daughter who knew nothing about keto, like nothing. It was the first time that Katie Bear came over and hung out. We made gummies and we made cotton candy, and the video was so long that Isaac split it in half for me. But back then, I didn't know how to edit or add, fancy thumbnails or any of the information. It just was a video of me hanging out in my kitchen with my friend's daughter, talking about keto and about healthy snacks. And it was amazing because she knew nothing about keto. And it was so much fun to just talk with her about it. When I posted that video, I got what I think was the nastiest comment I've ever gotten on any of my YouTube videos. And somebody was like, wow, this is the worst video I've ever seen. It's not even edited. Literally delete your channel. And I was like, ouch. ouch. That was, ow. Dude, like, ouch. And yet there it is in my top 4 viewed videos. So I just want to remind you guys, if they don't get you now, they might get you later. And if they don't, you know, Ben reminded me today what Dr. Seuss said. Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. So when all else fails, rely on the wisdom of Dr. Seuss. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to get us a song to dance out to. And I hope that if you're struggling, that you reach out. Reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Comment on my YouTube channel. If you're struggling and you need help, let me know what you need and we can do it together. It's way more fun. I'm just going to put it out there and say anything that you're going to do is more fun with friends all the way around the board. So don't struggle alone. Don't suffer alone. Come hang out with us and do it together. And then nobody has to be sad. And we get each other. So you don't have to worry about being judged around us. Because we already love each other and we already think you're awesome too. It's kind of how our group works. You know, we're very accepting and we're very kind. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I'll see you tomorrow. I think we're going to cook something yummy. Oh, by the way, isn't my hair cute today? See you guys. And don't forget, if you're struggling, you're never alone. Let's get over the hump and get through it together.